Tell me, how did it all get started for you? Because I think fans that come here now and see you run sprint cars, I think some of them may, unless they were diehard fans, been here forever, they may not even realize that you had a racing career way before sprint cars.
Well, I started when I was 14, working with a family. Skip Hance and my brother Dana and my brother Gary. My brother Gary started it. He used to race here. He started here when it was street stocks. I don't think he had much more than $500 in his car back in the day, and I don't even know what year it was, but I was still in school and I helped him on the car, and then my brother Dana got a car and my brother Skip got a car, and I ended up to be the little body man. I was doing body work at the time, and so I started doing all the body work on their cars, and then I go, I need to try this. You guys have been calling me the motorized madman since I've been little, so I probably ought to get a car and try it. And I'm trying to remember who I got. My very, very first car was a 6-cylinder Camaro, and they helped me build it. So it was a family deal with my brother-in-law and my brother and my other brother. And we started with a 6-cylinder Camaro. I think Chuck Brownell even had something to do with that deal. But it was a pretty cool deal. Not enough horsepower, and then we saved up some money and I got a V8. We put a V8 in it and we got a little bit better, and we just kept working up through. And we ran the rookie. That was when it used to be a rookie, novice, and then they had the expert class. And we ran all three of those. And 1990, I started my sportsman with a very limited budget on a sportsman deal. Ran that, and then we ended up with a new car, and we ended up getting a BRD car in 1992 with Tony Burgos helping us. We picked up a bunch of sponsors and we did pretty well. We won track championship that year in 93, and then we won the Rolling Wheels championship in 94. We chased the Mr. Dirt deal for a little while. We did very well with that, finished second in that. And then we started the big block in 1995 and run 1995 up until 2004 was the last year in big block.
I remember seeing some old YouTube video of you in a big block and in a televised race here. I mean, that was something. I knew you had raced other divisions before, but I remember seeing that clip and saying, man, I mean, you've seen and done it just about all here.
Well, we've raced, I think, everything here other than late model. The big block deal, I mean, me and my wife, limited budget, but we did very well with what we had, with the help with Mike Maston building us motors and stuff. And we had some good cars. We had Bicknell cars at one point. We had Teal cars at one point, and we had quite a few people help us. And it was fun, but just, in today's world, I couldn't, you know what I mean? I don't know if you could afford it in today's world, but everything just got more expensive. But then we started to race the micro sprints after we moved out of the big block, and then I took a break for a little while, and then I started racing motocross and did very well with that until I broke my leg, and then I realized that I was way too old for that. And my daughter started racing motocross when she was 9, and I just knew that we needed to get her out of that motocross before she got hurt bad. And we ended up headed to the sprint car world with the micro sprints at Paradise. And we ran that for 4 years over at Paradise and a bunch of other tracks. And we did very, very well with that. And we won all the championships that you could win between me and her. So Mike Emhoff says, you guys need to move up. And he started looking around and he found a couple cars in Nebraska, a couple Eagle cars.
Just around the block, right?
Just around the block. So me and Jeff Lovejoy, we loaded the trailer up one day and we took off. Mike Emhoff landed the deal for us. We sold all our micro sprints and we were still money ahead buying the 2 big sprint cars. So it was a relatively easy transition. Yeah. So we started that, and then Mike Maston, I bugged Mike because he didn't want to build motors. I kept bugging him. He says, no. And finally, he jumped on board with the sprint car stuff, and we've been with him ever since, and I can't thank him enough.
What's compared to what you had run here before? What was it like that first time you took a sprint car around here?
Well, I was here with a micro sprint before, which
Oh, okay.
we used to run, not all the time because this track's way too big for the micro sprints, but we did run a couple races here with the micro sprint, and I even won both of those races with a micro sprint here. But this place is way too fast for a micro sprint. But with the other car, I mean, compared to a big block, the speeds in that 305 car were quite a bit faster than the big blocks. And the sprint cars just handle so good. You know, we found a good setup and it works really good, and I'm comfortable here.
You talk about you and Alicia both racing here, and I know a lot of fans that tune in. Anytime we do a project with you guys, everybody always says, "I wonder what it must be like racing against his daughter out there." I wonder, so what is it like?
I bust on her all the time that she's just another competitor, but she's very good at what she does. She's in great control of her car. I love her to death. I give her good equipment. We work on it very hard. She works on her car very hard. And with the experience that I've had with all the other cars and learning the setups and stuff, and we have a lot of people supporting us and helping us, but we found a good setup that works really good here. So she gives me feedback, I give her feedback, and we find something that works in the middle. But our setups are so different, but they're similar. And she has a different driving style than me. She's more calm, cool, and collected, runs around the bottom. Tim Engler calls her the catfish.
What is it like watching Darryl and Alicia both? When you first started coming here to the races, you're watching Darryl, but now you've got two drivers out there. What is that experience like as mom?
Scary. I don't know who to root for, actually. I always pray that they're in different heats, but 99% of the time they're in the same heat. So that doesn't help. But if Alicia's ahead, I'll root for her. And then when they get close, it's just hard to tell. I just yell, "Let's go." It's hard. I can't really take sides, but sometimes as a mom, I'm like, "Alicia, go get him," and then Darryl, it's like, and Darryl will never let her win. We've had that argument before. She has to earn her wins, but yeah, I root for both of them. Pretty much the same.
With you and Alicia racing here, we're sitting in turn 4 where, last season didn't get off to the greatest start with you. And she's taken some tumbles in her time here too. Is there any reservation? Does that thought even cross your mind as a racer, but not just as a racer, as a dad?
Well, you definitely don't want to see your daughter get hurt. And she was definitely in a couple wrecks, yeah, for sure. I've been in a couple violent wrecks. Nobody wants to do that, but this is what we sign up to do when we walk through that gate. Our cars are very, very fast. They're very, very safe, obviously. We usually don't have too many issues where people really get hurt. Last year I did hit that wall right there. And it was just a stupid mistake on my part. The car wasn't prepared properly. It was a 360 that we just came here to run a couple laps, and we didn't have a $20 safety piece in it. And the safety piece broke, or it wasn't there, but if the safety piece was in there, it wouldn't have broke. And I wouldn't have been into the wall. So just a lesson that needed to be learned, and I got learned the hard way on it.
The very next week, you come out here and sign the wall with the safety crew. Your first race back, you win, get a photo with the safety crew. You win a race at Penn Can with a cast on your arm. I mean, yeah, there was the experience here with the wall, but you took or created more positives out of it than just, that negative experience.
Can't think of racing as a negative. You're going to have the bad days. You're going to have issues. It's in our blood. That's what we love to do. And I remember coming back, Alicia, she used to run. Now, I think this is what makes her run the bottom. When this place used to have walls all the way around it, other than down here, it used to have walls down in 1 and 2. She hit that wall her first week. She hit the wall the second week. She had something go wrong the third week with that wall. I said, you need to go out there and make friends of that thing. And she goes, what do you mean? I go, you need to go out there and you need to sign that wall and talk to that wall and make friends with that wall. Well, we came down here in the middle of the week. She went down there. She signed it too, just like I did that front stretch wall. And it was kind of a joke, you know what I mean? She says, I'm not going near that wall no more. So she started running the bottom, and I don't think she's ever got off the bottom.
Well, she's certainly fast down there, that's for sure. You've got 40 305 sprint car wins here. When you hear that number, what does that mean to you? What comes to mind? 40's a lot. And there's a pretty good distance back to second on that all-time list. But what does 40 wins here in that division mean to you?
Just a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication. That's fun. There's really good competitors. There's some very, very good competitors coming this year. So every year it gets harder and harder, you know. So when you can add to that tally every year, you know you did your homework. You know that you worked hard. They don't come easy.
Transitioning off of that, 40 wins, championships to go with that. Last year, you, in an abbreviated season, win the CRSA series as well. I remember asking you in Victory Lane last fall, what's left on Darryl's list? Is there races? Is there anything that's on that checklist? I mean, you've got wins and championships. You've run almost every division here. Is there anything left on that list? And along with that, if there's not anything necessarily on that list, what is it that keeps Darryl driving to be better, to be faster, to keep coming back here and get those wins?
Well, my biggest reason why I race is because Alicia, to keep her going. And, I enjoy it. I have a good group of guys that love to do it. My wife loves to do it. My other daughter, Brianna, loves to do it. And the family here, the people, the atmosphere, we don't know anything else. This is what we do. And there'll be a year that maybe Alicia decides that she doesn't want to do this anymore. That could be the end, you know what I mean? Or Logan gets old enough, we might have to go somewhere else to teach a little guy a little something. But as of right now, that's not in the picture. I know Alicia's she's not going to run every week on the CSRA series, but she wants to focus here every Saturday night. She wants to back up what she did last year. And I told her it's going to be hard. Hopefully I don't have an issue and miss a week. And I know there's some guys that are really doing their homework, and they put pretty good motors together. They bought brand new cars, and there's some good competitors. So I says, if you're gonna back that up, you're gonna have to focus and work very, very hard to make it happen.
Championship night here. I have to imagine the dad hat was just a little bit bigger than the driver hat that night. Alicia takes care of business, wins the championship here. First female to ever win a track title here. That's a proud dad moment.
Absolutely. She kept busting me all year that she was going to do it. She was leading points, and then she faded back, and then she got back to the lead. And with me missing a week, it kind of put me out of the loop. But I kept digging and kept digging and kept digging, and you don't ever want to see your daughter have a bad night where she can't finish or can't start, because that's not the way I want to win it. But I kept digging, and I got close. If she had a couple more bad nights, Daddy would have been there. But we had to work hard, but we work as hard on her car as I do mine.
When I talked to Darryl about, his drive to keep coming and doing this stuff, what is it that you enjoy about coming to the races? What is it that you enjoy and get to take away at the end of the night, being here, supporting him, supporting Alicia?
Well, coming back to Canandaigua, Land of Legends, we grew up here. I grew up here. My kids came here when they were a week old. I was pregnant. Everybody remembers, they say, I remember when you were pregnant with Alicia, and now she's out there winning races and having babies. And Darryl and I, if he had it his way, we would have gotten married here. But we didn't. And it's just the people, the atmosphere, family. It's all family. I mean, we have a lot of race teams that we've grown up with, whether they be in different classes or, you know, different divisions. We've kind of all grown up together.
I know because I've stood in that tower and I've looked out that window when she takes the lead, when he takes the lead. You guys got a lot of fans here. It's a big deal for everybody, but I imagine it's a big deal for you guys because you're so local, you're so close to the track here.
Yeah, it is. And as an outsider, not a racer, it'll be really exciting to see the fans, because you can hear the fans from the pits. You can hear, you know, if an ultimate move was made or something, the crowd goes wild. Or, you know, when Alicia wins or they're battling back and forth, or even a newcomer, a youngster like Ethan and stuff, they've got, you know, they have a lot of fans, family. They grew up around racing. It's just nice to see the excitement of the fans. And last year we didn't have that. I mean, granted, there were, you know, some fans in the stand, but as a wife, mother, crew member, you know, part of this family, you want, like, if your family member or someone that you know wins, have the excitement of the crowd going wild, you know? And it's tough when you don't have that. I think the victory lane ceremonies are just spectacular when fans are involved. And, you know, even stuff that they do at the track, the kids, they just love it. Autograph nights and stuff like that. Those are things that you miss.
We missed that last year.
Yep.
What is it that excites you about this season? You know, every year has a little something different to it. You know, we've been pushing all winter, you know, that all of our drivers are going to be seen by people all over the world with the free streaming. But what is it that has you excited about this season?
The fans in the stands. Yeah. Finally get to go back racing. Last year was kind of really weird, you know, with nobody in the stands. We had quite a few people in the pits overall, but without the people in the stands, I mean, that's what we do it for. And I know a lot of people watch it on TV, but it's not the same, because at the end of the night, you know, some of the kids come over to the trailer and hang out and talk, and we come over to the pits, and, you know, it's just you know, talking to the people and just seeing the people in the stands and the interaction, you know, when we're not in the cars with the fans in the stands. And COVID took all that away from us.